Hello everyone, my name is Dragon, and welcome back to the Hardcore series. Now, this is going to be an interesting episode because I figured out a few things. Mainly a way to become literally invincible forever, but I'm not going to be using that because it is broken as hell, and a way to get infinite shulker boxes and infinite totems of undying. Now, I know that seems like it would be, busted, especially on a hardcore series, but just because I'll have a lot of them doesn't mean I'll be able to hold all of them at once, so it still makes it pretty easy to die. And the way I'm going to get both of those is with these guys right up here, spawners. In the last episode, we figured out that if we get these little shulker charms, we can combine them together and get a shulker spawn egg. It's a possessed shulker spawn egg, but, I mean, I imagine it drops the same items as a normal shulker, and the way to get infinite totems is with these. An evoker spawner. Now you may be asking yourself how the hell I got an evoker spawner, and I'll tell you in 1 second, but for that we need to go to the end. This is where I ended up getting these evoker spawners from. Now, not just this building, I did find another one of these, so I did go and get both of them. But this is the building that I got it from, and it is just like a little church looking thing. And I saw this, I was like, ooh, I'm interested in knowing, I want to know what this is, because it's a really cool looking building. And so I just went inside, and there was an evoker spawner literally, right here. And then a few more on the different floors and such. So that is where I got the evoker spawners from, and there is a few more that I've found, but we found two of them. I found one here, right where I'm at, and then I found another one right over here. But that is where I got the evoker spawners from. But it looks really cool, in my opinion. So now, the plan is to hopefully make both an evoker spawner and a shulker spawner. Now, that's going to be a little bit more difficult with the shulkers because they, are blocks, and so they're harder to, make a spawner for. But the evokers, I imagine, will be really, really easy. And we can even modify them to spawn more things and, have a ton of other options for it, like being able to be controlled by redstone, ignoring if players are near it, ignoring conditions, all of this good stuff. We could even give it, I think we can make it so it just doesn't have any AI. Yep, just a chorus fruit, and then it just doesn't have an AI, which is probably what we'll be doing for both of them, because they're both kind of annoying to kill. We have our evoker spawner. We're just going to grab one of the other spawners that we're not really going to need. I think, yeah, we'll just use an Enderman one, because we already have 6 of them. And all we gotta do is have to go find an egg, because we already have the shulker charm fragments, but we do need to get the actual egg for it. There we go. We have our egg, we have our shulker charm, and there we go, shulker spawn egg. Perfect. So now, we can head on home, and we can figure out what we're gonna do to make these farms. Now, first things first, we are going to make them both redstone activated, because I do not want to deal with having these guys spawn as I'm trying to build any of the farms. So we're going to make them both redstone activated, which should be pretty easy. All I do is we take some redstone comparators, and we can put down the spawner and do that, and there we go. Redstone activated. So now these guys will not spawn anything, but once they have a redstone signal, then they will start spawning. Then we can take the shulker spawn egg and right click it into there, and now we have a shulker spawner. So we're going to do the same thing with the evokers. Bam, bam, there we go. So now it comes time to actually make sure all of this is working the right way, and what we are going to do is we are going to make these spawn as fast as possible, which we're going to need sugar for, as well as clocks. Now we do have plenty of gold to make all the clocks, so we'll be fine in that regard, but I don't know if we'll have enough redstone to fully max out both these spawners. The main one I'm really wanting to get a ton of is the shulker spawners, and these ones are already pretty damn quick, the evokers, so we will attempt to max out the shulker spawner as quickly as possible. So as you can tell, if we right click with sugar, the minimum spawn delay goes down by 10 every time, and that is now maxed out. We can even do the same for this. And if we use clocks, we can see that the max spawn delay is doing the same thing. But we definitely do need more clocks, and we do have a little bit more redstone, and we actually have redstone ore, so that should be fine. Fermented spider eyes increases the spawn count, gas tiers increase the max entities, and then chorus fruit makes it so there's no AI. I don't have chorus fruit, but that is fine, because I do think I'm going to build both of these farms actually in the end, because they are, probably going to be relatively large, and I think it'll be easier because there is so much empty space just sitting out there. So we're going to go build those 2 farms in the end. And what I want to do is use these little redstone links, but the problem is that it takes brass, and I'll need to get into create to even, do any of this, which won't be too hard, but I just don't care enough right now to get into create, so we're not going to worry about it. But I'll just have a lever somewhere that activates it pretty easily, so it should be fine. So I'm going to attempt to start making 2 more mob mashers. The reason being is because we'll need them in order to kill off both the evokers and the shulkers. The only problem now is that only the shulkers are going to have looting, because I don't think the evoker's loot table is affected by looting, at least not as much, because they only drop, like, I think an emerald and the Totem of Undying, which we don't necessarily need to have looting for. Alright, so the plan is we were going to turn all of these down into slabs, or not all of them, but a majority, just so we can bridge outwards just a decent amount. And the reason why we want them to be slabs is to stop any of the endermen from spawning in on this little line that we're going to be putting down. And that'll just make it so that everything that spawns in will not be capped by the mob cap. So we'll have plenty more spawns. So once we get out all the way over here, if we look on the minimap, there is actually still some endermen that are spawned in. So we do have to keep on going just a little bit more. What we're looking for is no entities at all on this tiny little bit of the end island, which we don't have anymore. So we are good on that front. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to get a few more slabs because we are going to need them. And we're going to start building out this evoker farm because I feel like that'll be really, really easy. So actually what we're going to do is I'm actually going to make a decently large platform out here. And this will just be for wherever we are collecting. So we'll put this up just a little bit. And this is where the actual block of redstone is going to be, is on this block right here. And so the mob masher will be above that, and then our spawning platform will be all around this. So now that should be that all activated. If we come over here, you can see, bam, that is spinning. Pretty good. We're going to grab our evoker spawner, and we're going to put it just 1 block up. And then we're just going to have the lever, and we're going to put it right here. Now, hopefully, if I activate this and go into F4, hopefully we'll see at least a evoker spawn in. Oh, there it goes. We can kill him real quick. We do get the Totems of Undying, obviously. The only problem is that he spawned on top of the spawner. We don't want that. And now, obviously, we don't have anything to collect any items with, but all we can do is just, break this redstone block, jump up, and then there we go. Totems of Undying. Easy enough. So that's technically the farm done. There's still a few things that we need to do, like we need to turn off their AI, which that should be easy. And this was the easier farm to make, so this is easy enough. We will make it look pretty at some point, and we do have to get a storage system, which we're just going to use a bag. So we'll figure out the storage system once we come back here, because I did just want to get the farm actually set up itself, so we're good on that front. And now we have to figure out how the hell we're going to make this shulker spawner work. I'm assuming we can do something similar, we just won't need the actual vector plates. And this is just as a proof of concept. Eventually we'll make these spawners look so much better. Oh. There we go, look at that. That is actually working fairly well. So if we turn that off real quick. It just took a second for them to start spawning in, but there we go, look at that. We are getting shulker shells. So now, if I just stand here... Oh, that is the problem. That's why we need to get rid of their AI, so they don't do that. But we can easily just, take that guy down. There we go. So we will get the things to turn off their AI, but look at that. If we look in our backpack, that is actually working really well. Nice. I was hoping it would work like this. And it actually turns out to work how I thought it would. So that actually works fairly decently, and all we need to do is get chorus fruit and turn off the AI of both of those. So we're going to go do that real quick. So now all we need to do is bam. So now you don't have any AI. Very nice. Now they both don't have any AI, so now when I turn that on, they won't even teleport. They'll just stay there floating in the air until they get killed, and then all of their drops show up in my inventory. Surprisingly, I don't think looting actually works with shulker shells, interestingly enough. So I'm going to try something. I'm going to take out the looting. I'm going to hop on over here and turn this on too. I'm going to put the looting in here instead to see if that would be more beneficial, I guess. I mean, I guess it could be because we get more emeralds. Well, I will definitely keep all of that. That is good. We have now tons of Totems of Undying, which we can easily use. Now that we have these set up, it's time for me to explain how I can actually become literally unkillable. And I'm not going to be using it until I complete a list of items. I've not completed that list yet, but one of the things that I'm thinking about is making it so I have to kill at least 100 Ender Dragons before. But there will obviously be more than that just to be able to use it, because it's you literally just beat the game at that point. You beat hardcore. And the way I'm literally able to just stay alive forever is with this right here. Now this is a soul stone, and it is fairly cheap to make, just taking netherite nuggets, 4 totems of undying, and a nether star, which is easy enough. And if you can see, it says concentrated essence from totem of undying. It works the same way as a totem of undying, but you just don't need to hold it in any of your offhands. You can just have it in your inventory or in the charm slots, and it has a durability of 8. Now what's interesting is if you guys remember the first episode where we talked about the Eternal Stella, it makes anything that you can combine it with unbreakable. I think you can see what I'm going with here. The way the Soul Stone works is in here. Triggers the Totem of Undying, does not have to be held in your hotbar, breaks when durability runs out. So every time you pop it, durability goes down by 1, and then it breaks. The only thing they don't tell you is that you can combine it with the Eternal Stella, and then it literally is unbreakable, infinite Totems of Undying without having to restock it in your hand. And I've tested this in creative. It works no matter what. It's great. And I'm not going to be using it until a very extensive list is done, so yeah, that'll be the end of the series whenever that list is done and I'm literally unkillable. But now that we have both of those spawners working, it's time to get the storage systems for both of them. Now, both of them I'm just going to use storage drawers and absorption hoppers. It should be easy enough. And I'm hoping I can just use one absorption hopper for both because they're close enough that it shouldn't be that big of a deal. So now what we're going to do is we are going to make 2 drawers, just like so. And we are going to make 4 netherite upgrades. Now I know what you're thinking. Yes, 4 netherite upgrades is quite a lot, but it actually shouldn't be that bad, I don't think. Let's take a look. We're going to look up netherite. We are going to make 4 of these upgrades, so we need to make diamond, and then obviously you have to do all this. So we need drawers and we need chests. We have the drawers already, so let me make a few chests. So all we need now is 4 of the smithing upgrades, which are in here. And now that should be everything. We just shove all that in there, and bam, there we go. 4 netherite upgrades. Now what we can do is actually use this all on one drawer, which we're not going to do because that's overkill. But we're going to use 2 on each drawer. So if we do this, we can see, if we take these out real quick, we put 2 netherite upgrades into each drawer, and let's just say we are holding, you know, golden carrots. Bam. So for any stackable item, we can hold up to 2.1 million, which this includes shulker shells. So we can hold up to 2.1 million shulker shells, or if we use unstackable items like Totems of Undying, we can hold 32 and basically 33,000 Totems of Undying. So that is what we're going to be doing. And now we should have these just working the same way. Yep. All right, perfect. And now we just need the absorption hopper, which is just 3 obsidian, 1 of these hoppers, and then 1 eye of ender. Just in case one absorption hopper isn't enough, we will make another one while we are here, just so I don't have to fly back, come back home, go back to the end, make another one, you know, all that stuff. So we're going to make 2, but we're probably going to be using 1. Of course, we do need to actually get a storage thing for emeralds, but we might just be able to make a trash can for that. There we go. And now that actually has filters, so we can just filter out everything that we don't want. Yes, it would be nice to keep the emeralds, but we have the gold farm for that. We don't need another farm to generate emeralds for us. Alright, so 2 actually will not work. The area is not big enough. If we take a look, I'll put one down right here, and if we show the area, you can see it ends right before the mob masher over here, and it doesn't cover the entirety of this one. So 2 of these won't work, but that's fine. We can just put 1 down right here. This will cover out all of that. That is good enough. And we can put another one right here, and that will obviously show all of this as well. So we're going to make south the items. We're not going to worry about XP because it doesn't necessarily matter. Now this one is going to need the trash cans. We're also going to make down items, but in the trash can we're going to filter out ominous banners and emeralds once we turn the farms on. Yeah, so there we go. See, we got emeralds. We're not going to want that, so we'll do that like so. This will be a white list. So we just kind of got to stand right here because the spawner doesn't have a whole lot of range. But if we look over there, now we can see Totems of Undying and Shulker Shells. Perfect. So there we go. We can start getting Totems of Undying, and we can start getting tons of Shulker Shells. Now this will take a while, especially because this isn't killing Shulkers that quickly. What we can do is set up more of these just kind of around the full thing and get rid of the blocks all up there, and I think that'll work pretty well. Yeah, now the only problem now is that this is going to start filling up on Shulker Charm fragments, which, that's not bad. We can just get another trash can. For right now, bam, Shulker Shells. And actually a really good amount of Shulker Shells pretty quickly. So I'm actually not complaining about that at all. That's really nice. Now we can technically put those anywhere, but for right now I am going to leave those there because I have an idea on what I want to do for this actual end island, and it's going to take a while for me to actually do anything with it. So I'm just going to leave the farms over there, but trust me, it'll be really, really cool. I promise. The main idea I have for that end island is I saw someone on their hardcore world do some sort of like Japanese styled neon district sort of looking build, and I really, really liked the idea of it. So I kind of want to do something similar, but in a different way, I guess. So those farms will be in one of the buildings, and then we'll just be able to go in, turn them on, and then obviously get some loot. But for right now, that is not happening because there's nowhere near enough supplies to even destroy the main end island or, you know, build up all of the stuff that I want to. So I'm not going to worry about it for right now, but that is a plan for the future. But now that that is done, I do want to start working on getting an Eternal Stella. The reason being is because I can make pretty much anything in the game that takes durability damage unbreakable, and I do want to do that for a few things. We need 3 of the X-Petrified Orbs, a Diamond, a Stellarite piece, a Forge Tier 3, and then we need Blood, Souls, and Oriole. Now, I don't know how to get any of this, besides probably the Blood. I mean, I imagine that's pretty easy. But we do have a decent amount of the starting items in order to start with the Forge. And we already do have the Stellarite pieces. I went looking for them because they are insanely rare. So we are going to just keep them as they are. Now we need to make a tier 1 forge, which let me figure out a way to do that again. Alright, so to get our forge, we're going to need 48 polished darkstone, which is easy enough. There we go. Then we need 9 arcane chiseled polished darkstone, which I don't know how to do that. Ah, okay, so we need chiseled polished darkstone and then diorum nuggets. That's easy enough, I think. So we need, wait, this is interesting. We need 9 arcane chiseled polished darkstone and then 4 chiseled arcane polished darkstone. That's weird. So to make diorum, we need charcoal, arcane crystal dust, and mundap, whatever that, however you say that, and gold. So we have gold. I know we damn well have gold. I know we have the crystals, and yeah, we do have the dust. Now we just need charcoal, which we do have plenty of. So we should have everything we need. We just need to make the crystal dust, which is made by just smelting it. And I think we need 2 in order to make 1 ingot, so we're going to need 4. So let's make this diorum ingots. There we go. We'll turn these into nuggets. Oh, okay, so we need the arcane polished darkstone, which is 1 full ingot surrounded by polished darkstone. Alright, that's easy enough. So I made this on accident. If I didn't do that, we would have enough. Is there any way for me to get the block back? No, okay. Well, we'll just put this up here for right now. And we do have more darkstone, and we do have more supplies to make another Diorum ingot. So we're gonna do this. That'll make arcane polish darkstone, and then we can do this and that. We just need a little bit more. If we need that, we have everything else we're gonna need, and now we just gotta set up a little, what appears to be like a summoning circle, but I'm just gonna do that in my backyard because, you know, that's classic. So we're just gonna set this up like so. We need one of these, basically. Yeah, I see. Okay. Just like that, and then we just get the rest of this filled in. And then we also need one smithing table. So we're going to throw down our smithing table here in the center, and then we're going to right-click it with this, I think. Yeah, there we go. There is our whatever forge. This will allow us to do what we need. So we have, obviously, Oriole, Souls, Blood, and Experience, which that should be easy enough to get. So we're going to make 8 pedestals. Yes. And the pedestals we need are these guys right here. So we need a lot more stuff. Make this the Diorum. Surround that and that. That should make us the arcane polished stuff. We're going to make 8 pillars. And now we just need more of the arcane polished stuff for slabs, which should be easy. So just do that, surround that like so, and then slabs. So then we're just going to come back out here. We're going to put the darkstone pedestals on all of these polished places like so. And that should be the forge pretty much done. Now the only thing is we need blood, experience, souls, and Oriole bottles. We have bottles of Oriole, but it should be fine enough. After placing all the required items on the pedestal and filling the essence bars to the needed amount, you need to start the ritual. To do this, you simply have to craft a blacksmith gavel and right-click the forge with it. Okay, there we go. So that will be good enough. That says remaining ritual uses is 30. That's fine. So now we can start doing rituals, but to actually make the Eternal Stella, we do need a Forge Tier 3, which to upgrade this to a Tier 2, we're going to need Eldwood Planks, 4 Arcane Crystals, and 4 Spawner Scrap, as well as Oriole, 10 Souls, 6,000 Blood. That should be easy enough. There are currently 2 ways to acquire souls, but both need a Soul Extractor. Okay, Soul Extractor. This thing. Quartz, 2 nether bricks, a jar, and nether quartz. Jar is just glass and an eldenwood plank to make. I think we can find those pieces of wood somewhere. I think I've seen them in some of the like dark forests and such. Let me grab this real quick. We're gonna go to a dark oak forest, and I think we'll be able to find what we need there. So we can touch down right here, and yeah, see Eldwood. Perfect. So we can just take this with us. And I'm just going to collect quite a few because I don't know how much we will need, but I'm just going to get a decent amount just to make it easier on me. Just so I don't have to come back here. Alright, that's actually all really easy. Oriole bottles, to get all the things that we're going to need, I'm just looking into it now. It's actually really, really easy. To get Oriole, we can use obelisks or Oriole bottles, which we have Oriole bottles, so we can use those pretty easily. Souls we can just get out of soul sand using a soul extractor, which is easy enough. That's what we're getting all this wood for. And blood we can get just by hurting entities near the actual forge itself, which is also really easy. In experience, we can just use the X-Petrified orbs, and they'll work pretty damn well. So yeah, we'll easily be able to get everything that we need to start upgrading this stuff. Now the only question is, do I have the spawner fragments? Yes, I do. I know I don't have the crystals, though, because I just used all of them. So we're just going to head on over to this pretty dark cave northeast, and then hopefully be able to find some of those crystals pretty easily. Deep arcane crystal ore. Nice. So we're going to get a few of these, and we're going to head on out. Alright. So we got all the things we're going to need. I also picked up 2 runes because I figured they could be used for something. I just don't know what yet, but we have them just in case. Alright, so we're going to make the nether bricks, and then we just go wait for this one piece of glass. There we go. Bam, bam, jar, quartz, brick, that. There we go. Soul extractor. So now we can use this on soul sand once we go and grab some. And we can turn it into normal sand, but this will also gather up all the souls that we're going to need. So it should be easy enough. Alright. I don't know how many souls we are going to need to upgrade everything. Let me go back real quick. Let me see. 10, 50 to tier 3. God damn. So I guess we're just going to keep going around. We're going to keep picking up all these souls because we're going to need 60 of them in order to get a tier 3. Alright. That should be plenty of souls for the time being. I'm just going to head on back to my portal, which I think is this way. So to make the tier 2, we're going to need 4 of the crystals, 4 of the spawner fragments, 500 Oriole, 10 souls, and 6,000 blood. So to get Oriole, what we're going to do is we're going to have to make these like arcane crystal blocks. And then we need more of this Mundi whatever essence, and then arcane polished darkstone. And we can turn these into obelisks that will generate Oriole for us. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to destroy one of these pedestals. We're going to put down something like that. This should be able to start generating us Oriole once we right-click it with one of these. Nice. So let's start generating Oriole, albeit very slowly. And can we pick these things back up? Oh, yes we can. Alright, interesting. So if we can make... Oh, we're going to need a lot more arcane crystals, because if we can make more of those obelisks, that'll be really nice for generating a whole lot of Oriole. But we do need to get more crystals, unfortunately. So, yeah, 23 is not nearly enough. So we're going to go and, I guess, go back down into that cave and look for more. Alright, so we have 8 more crystal blocks, which will mean we can make 4 more of the obelisks. We already have 1 at the base. So all we can do is remove 4 of these, and then place down these with the 2 crystal blocks, like so, and then just, there we go. So now that should start generating Oriole hella quickly, or at least 5 at a time, whenever this does tick. Yep. And now all we need to do is wait for that to generate enough, which is 500. Now we can make Oriole bottles as well. I don't know where I found them from first, but I did find some. But we can make Oriole bottles, but they require 8 of the crystal dust, which we're not doing. But we'll be fine with what we have for right now. We do need to get more blood, but we can do that really, really easily. Yeah, there we go. And that does generate blood. Sick. We just wait for the wither skeletons to see me, and then boop. And then there we go. There we go. We have 6,000 blood in there, so that'll be enough for right now. 6,500 blood. We have almost enough Oriole, so we will be ready to go here in a moment. We do have the spawner scraps. We have the plank we're going to need, and the arcane crystals. Yeah, so we're going to need to put 1 of these right in the middle. Like that. And then we'll need this, that, this, and then once this fills up with enough Oriole, which it is about to, we will then replace these obelisks with the pedestals, and then get everything else set up, which this is, there we go, 500. We'll re-put down all of the pedestals, and then we should be able to just do something like that. And then we take our blacksmith gavel, and we should just be able to do that. Very nice. So that should start its thing. Yep, it did take the souls, it took the Oriole, it took the blood. Now we just wait. Yeah, there we go. So now, at least I think that worked. Yeah, because now we have 3,000 Oriole and 50 souls. And we can hold a lot more blood and experience. So there we go, there's a tier 2. Now to make a tier 3, we're going to need 4 more of these arcane crystals, but we also are going to need 4 ingots of Dorium, which luckily we do have the materials for. 1,000 of that. We have the souls. We need the blood, which we have the spawner for. So I guess we should get out there and start, you know, gathering up all the blood we're going to need. Yeah, because the Oriole's going to take quite a while, so we'll just start gathering up all the blood. All right, there's all the blood we're going to need. The Oriole is still gathering up. We have all the souls, and I don't think we'll need experience. So we're just going to put that in there. We're just going to wait for all this Oriole to gather up, which shouldn't be too bad. All right. We just hit 1,000 Oriole, which I think that was how much we needed. Do that. Smack that in the middle. There we go. That consumed all the blood, the souls, the Oriole. Perfect. And now this should upgrade to a tier 3. Oh. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. So now we have a tier 3 forge. So now we can make the Eternal Stella. We need 82 Oriole, 1 soul, and 1,000 blood. And obviously the tier 3 forge, 3x petrified orbs, a diamond, and a stellarite piece. That is actually really easy, especially the Oriole. That's not bad at all. And then bam. And that should make us our Eternal Stella. There we go, look at that. We can now pick that up, and now we have fully unlocked Unbreakable tools in hardcore, which is insane. But as you can see, as we scroll through this, it's basically everything that has durability. We can make it invincible and never run out of durability, which is insane. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to hold on to this. I don't want to use it yet because I don't know what I'm going to use it on. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, do be sure to hit the subscribe button down below. It does help me out a ton. We just reached over 900 subscribers, and of course my goal is 5,000 by the end of the year. So hopefully I get to that point. But if you guys do want to see any more of this, then do let me know in the comments down below. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you have a good rest of your day or night, depending on where you are, and I will talk to you later.